amigos and mi amiguettes. Nah, I know it's amigas. Just having fun, lighten up. Last week we tried a couple of wines from the Lodi area, and we didn't do too well. But hopefully this week, and if you were paying attention at the intro, you saw that we're going to be looking at and trying $18 Cabernets today. And these are both $18, at least they cost me 18 bucks. So one of them is Arrow Creek, and Arrow Creek, though they say they're from the Sonoma area, upon further investigation, found that this particular Cabernet came from the Central Valley area. I'm guessing most likely the Lodi area. If it's further south than that, could get a little scary. You start getting into jug wine territory if you're in the Fresno area, but I think we're safe here. And then the Joel Gott wine, which they say is, they're based in Napa. The fruit for this particular wine was actually sourced from Napa, but also Mendocino, and I believe in the Lodi area as well. So a lot of shenanigans going on. So we'll get to the bottom of it. So let's dive in. Let's see what we get with the Arrow Creek. And Arrow Creek, kind of an interesting wine company. I believe, much like the Two Buck Chuck or Charles Shaw from Trader Joe's, which is pretty much an exclusive wine for them. I think that this wine here is more or less exclusive for Ralph's and the Kroger market chain, because as I did a little research on this as to where you can buy this particular wine, and I did get this at Ralph's, that's the only place they had it. So let's see. Well, already it's a very thin wine, or at least color-wise. Almost has a Pinot Noir look to it. It's very light, and there's some sugar in this as well. So let's see what we get here. Give it a sniff. Okay, I'm getting a lot of the lighter reddish fruits, strawberries, raspberries, that kind of thing. Maybe even a little bit of the stone fruit, the peaches, apricots of the world. Seems to be more or less what we're getting. So let's give it a taste. All right. It is not really like a Cabernet at all. It has almost it is a little thin, as I expected. It's almost the Kool-Aid of Cabernets. The reddish fruits tends to stay with it. There may be even, when we're on that red realm, might even be a little cherry sliding in here a little bit as well. No tannins whatsoever. As a matter of fact, it's hard to even tell this is a Cabernet at all. It may be more of a well, kind of like a Pinot Noir with some Merlot traits. It's nothing really there to make me remember this wine. And at $18, I know that's not the end of the world high-end type of wine, but you want a pretty good wine for that kind of money. And this probably would be an okay buy at $8. Let's try the Joel Gott. You can already see this is a much richer, deeper colored wine, very inky and dark, which is what I personally like in Cabernets, just from the appearance standpoint. Tells me that there's going to be some substance to the wine usually. So let's see what we get out of this one. That's interesting. The strongest aroma I got right off the bat was Bazooka bubblegum. For those of you who are old enough to remember, I don't know, maybe they still make it, but they used to get them for a penny, little pieces of bubblegum with a comic inside. That was the strongest aroma that I got. Behind that were some of the kind of typical dark dark plums, dark fruits feel to them. But overall, very interesting, kind of a nice aroma. So let's see how it is in the old palate world. Nice. For the money, I think it's a good quality Cabernet. It has a very long finish. A little spicy, which leaning a little bit more towards a Zinfandel type feel to it, but it's a nice big bold wine. Well made. It's still there's some real consistency in this, and that's nice. I like that. I would recommend this wine in a barbecue situation, making steaks with some spicy rubs or even ribs or something along those lines. But maybe you want something a little bit different than a Zinfandel. This falls somewhere between a Zin and a standard cab that you're used to, that may be a little more elegant. This one doesn't necessarily have those elegant qualities that some of the cabs can have, but it's a nice wine, and I'm going to recommend this one. I can't recommend the Arrow Creek, at least for that dollar amount. So also no real tannins on this wine at all. So for those of you out there who like cabs without much in the way of tannins, this one fits the bill for you. Anyway, that's it for today's show. We'll be back obviously next week with another show. Have no idea what we're going to do. We'll figure that one out in the middle of the week sometime. But click on the Twitter. And we send out little updates and things. We let people know what we're going to be trying. As a matter of fact, I sent that out today, which wines we were going to be doing. So do that. If you haven't done the Facebook like yet, please do that. We'd appreciate that. Got lots of fun things coming. We, as always, appreciate your comments. So if you find something here on the site that you want to comment on, please do it. We'd love to see what you have to say. So that'll do it. We'll be back next week with another edition of The Wine Stain right here. Thanks.